Now we're going to learn how to use groupings. Why do you want to group objects together? Let's say, for example, you created character already. This character right here is a star with a smiley face. And what I don't want to do is every time I want to move it, I would have to select on all of it in order to move it. What I want to do is to be able to group it together. In order to do that, you want to highlight everything first, right click, and then group. Now the grouping is the ability to move everything all together at once. So you can see I simply was only able to click on one thing and it was able to move everything all together. Now, if you want to undo a grouping, all you need to do is right click, ungroup, and it will all become the individual shapes. Now what you want to do is to be able to move all these individual shapes into this little activity right here so that it can fit it. Arrangements. When you have a shape, you can identify where it is based on the color of the outline. So right now, this is in the Arrangement Activities tool. We're going to expand it, and we're going to see that this rectangle is located right here. You can see where your object is simply by looking on the right-hand side. It tells me that the path here of the rectangle is located here. That same thing, if I selected this triangle, it would tell me that this gray thing is located here now, and it's right here. So what we're going to do is learn how to arrange different objects in order of appearance. The layer on top will always show up below everything. Now, if you layered everything all together, you wouldn't be able to see the other things in the bottom layer. Now, I want to move the arrangement to circle, triangle, square, and hexagon. So I have these 4 shapes. I'm going to move the circle up here. Triangle, I'm going to move it up here. And then I'm going to move the square at the third and hexagon at the bottom. So now if I were able to put all these shapes together, you can see how they are layered. Now, you want to do the same thing for the next. You would try to identify which shapes are which, and you can see that they're all within here, and take a screenshot and post it onto the activities slide, which is activity number 11. Activity number 12, we're going to understand layers. So again, like I said, all of these things are called layers. This movable shapes tool, arrangement activity tool, first layer, second layer, third layer. We're going to be focusing on the layers panel, and what you want to do is to be able to move it. So I'm going to expand it. And you can see that within the first layer, all these 3 shapes are located in the first layer. And then these red shapes are located in the second layer, and all these pink shapes are located in the third layer. What I want to do is I want to move all the objects from the first layer to the third layer. All I need to do is actually select on these 3, move it to the third layer, and then the second layer, I'm going to move the second layer to the first layer, and then I'm going to move the third layer tools into the second layer. So that's how you adjust all the different layers pretty simply just by looking at the layers panel. Now you can always move things out, but it's already within the sub layer. Pathfinder panel. In order for us to utilize the Pathfinder panel, we need to bring out the Pathfinder panel, a simple tool to allow you to merge or remove certain objects. So we have 4 different shapes right here that are together. And what I want to do is use the different Pathfinder modes that are available. So to unite, all you need to do is select on the 2 using the selection tool. And I'm going to hover over the unite tool and look what happens when you unite it. The top layer merges with the bottom layer and it becomes the dominant layer, which is the top layer, the color purple. Minus front simply would be to minus the object in front, which is a purple. And then intersect is keeping everything that intersects. And exclude is to keep everything that is not excluded. After you are done with this activity, take a screenshot and put it on activity number 12, understanding layers. Next thing, we are going to now be learning how to use the Shapebuilder tool. The Shapebuilder tool is located at the toolbar. And basically, it's the ability to combine, remove particular shapes that you want. So let's say these 2 circles that I have highlighted, you need to make sure that you always highlight the shapes that you want to combine or remove. I have these 2 circles Shift M, or you can go over to the Shapebuilder tool, and then you can go and combine these shapes. So you just click and drag. So you see the plus button, that means that it is going to combine the shapes together. So you can see that I have combined it and it's become one. Then to remove, all you need to do is highlight the ones that you want. So this is the ideal one that you're going to get. This one is the ideal thing that I'm trying to achieve. Shift M. And in order to remove, since it's the plus sign, you need to activate the remove tool, which is to hold Option and it's going to become negative. So minus, minus, and there you go. I have achieved on how to remove it. Same thing for here. I'm going to remove this thing in the middle, and in order to remove it, you need to click on the Option tool. Shift M first to activate the Shapebuilder tool. Hold Option. There you go. Now next, I also want to remove this right here, and to activate it, I need to use the Shapebuilder tool. Shift M, hold Option, click and drag, and there you go. Next, we're going to combine the understanding of all the tools that we have learned: selection tool, direct selection tool, rotate, reflect, scale, duplicate, shape builder, color, all in one. The first thing you want to do is to be able to get the colors that we have over here. This is the Tsum Tsum that I just got online. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a swatch folder. So I'm going to have a folder right here, Eyedropper tool, copy the colors that I would like. This pink, this beige, this black, and this cream. All right, so now that I've copied those 4 colors, I'm going to make sure that I have a new layer. To create a new layer, all you need to do is press the plus sign, Tsum Tsum, layer it Tsum Tsum, and then I'm going to try to get started. I will start creating the biggest shape that is available. To create the Tsum Tsum, all you need to do is create the circle. Use the shapes to your advantage. So I'm going to start from the center, select the ellipse tool, and there I have my shape. I'm going to use the direct selection tool to manipulate the shape of this Tsum Tsum. And then I'm going to use the anchor handles to adjust the roundness so that I can achieve that particular shape that the Tsum Tsum has. There you go. Now, the next thing you want to do is make sure you create the color to match it. This, the brown. And now I'm going to do this. This is the next part that is interesting because we're going to actually combine all the shapes together. This is the next big shape and it consists of 3 different circles. So I'm going to first make this one circle and I'm going to change the color so that I can actually see what's going on. All right. And I'm going to get this. I am going to use the direct selection tool and adjust it accordingly to make sure that it will match this shape. There you go. Now, because these 2 are symmetrical, all I'm going to do is duplicate it. I'm going to first color it the color that it's supposed to be, which is the beige. Hold Option, duplicate. Now, all I'm going to use is the reflect tool to reflect so that I can create the same shape here. And I'm going to just adjust accordingly. Then I'm going to create my 3rd shape, which is this bottom shape right here. I'm going to use the round tool once more, and I'm going to use the direct selection tool to move it down, to adjust it, get the shape that I want to achieve, move it down, and adjust it accordingly. Do the same thing here. All right. So now that I have adjusted it, I'm going to now combine the shapes together using the Shapebuilder tool. So I'm going to select all the different shapes here, and then I can use the Pathfinder to unite it, or I can use the Shapebuilder tool. So the Shapebuilder tool, all you need to do is click, drag, and then it will combine it. Or you can use the Pathfinder tool to click on Unite. So now I have my 2nd shape, and I'm going to do the rest for the others. This, I would create the ear. I would use a direct selection tool, create the ear, and then I would create the sub ear by duplicating it. So here I would make adjustments. There you go. And I would place it under. So before I move forward with this, I'm going to group it. I'm going to duplicate this, And then I'm also going to use the reflect tool to reflect it so that I don't need to recreate the ear again. And then I'm going to place it here. Now you can see that the ears appear on top. We want it to appear below. So we're going to move these grouped objects below this brown circle so that it appears at the bottom. And what you're going to do is you're going to create those colors. And then in the end, you're going to create your Tsum Tsum. But in order to create this cheek, I need to let you know how you can do it. To create the cheek, all you need to do is just expand, create the circle, and you're going to create a gradient. So I'm going to activate and create a gradient right here. You can adjust this shape to this pink. And then for the other side, you want to make sure that it's completely transparent. So you want to adjust the opacity. And you would do the rest, the same thing for everything else to create your Tsum Tsum. And in the end, you're ultimately going to get the final product, which is this. So you have your Tsum Tsum and there you go. You will have to take a screenshot of that and you're going to place it onto the activity, which is understanding Shapebuilder.